on the way home from a 21st party, and I picked up a hitchhiker. He waved his arms out in the middle of the road. I was trying to help him, pulled over. He came to the side of the window. I thought he was going to ask me, like, do you want to ride? But he just jumped straight in, put his bag by his feet. I asked him, you all good? Like, I can only go into town as far as I can take you. And then I just got blow to the head. Another blow, another blow. I was like, oh my goodness, like, who have I picked up? Like, and then he's like, drive. So I start driving, and I'm just getting blow after blow. And he says to me, like, insane things. He's saying, if you try anything, I'm gonna rip your throat out. You try anything, I'll gouge your eyes out. You do anything. So just full intimidation, and I was intimidated. So got into town, starts doing the laps, tells me what gang he's from, and I'm like, I've picked up the wrong guy. He says, how much petrol we got in the tank? So I told him, went to the petrol station to fill up, because he said it's gonna be a longer night than what we had in the tank. He goes into the store with my credit card, everything. I'm like, I'm gonna run. I'm gonna get out of here. Like, this is my chance. I go, jumped in his seat, go to boost, and I like freak out thinking I've just bought this car, just done all this stuff to it. I'm like, oh, I still have my parents, I don't know. So I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? I look back thinking, yeah, I'm gonna go. Open the door and he's running. I look back and he's running towards me. So I'm like, frig, like, jump back into the passenger seat, into the driver's seat, sorry. And then he jumps in. And from then on, or he comes in and he says to me, like, if you try that again, your life's over. So from then on, my mindset changed. I was just going to be the best guy I could, do whatever I could to help him. So from then, he took me to gang houses. I went into these crazy scenes. He took me to my family's house. He called my parents. He wanted to rob houses. He wanted to do all this stuff, and I was just did whatever he said. I'm driving. Long story short, after all these ups and downs, beatings, anytime I turned the wrong corner, anytime I did anything, I got another beating. But eventually he says to me, he's like, right, you take me to a place where I can end your life. And I was like, what the heck? Like, he says it needs to be dark and in the middle of nowhere. So I start showing him places. He's fed up with the wrong places I take him. I don't want to take him to the right place. I want my life. And so he eventually says to me, he's like, right, you go here, go there. Pull up. He finds this place, rams a beanie over my head, and we start driving out in the middle of the country. He pulls over, I'm fully lost, and he says, brace yourself, I'm about to stab you. So I've got no t-shirt on because he's got it around his hands. I hear him reach into the pocket of his bag, and I'm ready to be stabbed. I fully thought 100% I was about to be stabbed. I start thinking, is this the end of my life? Like, is it one blow and I'm done? Then a car came past. He freaks out, he says, nah, I gotta go somewhere else, take off again. Did it 3 times, something just got in the way. So God was fully protecting me in this time. Final time he says, what do you want me to do? So we start arguing. Eventually he just says, right, if you tell the police, if you go anywhere and tell them what happened, I'm coming straight for your house, murder you in front of your family, and then I'll murder your family. And so I was like, look, sweet as, like, I'm not telling a soul. He lets me go. The next day I see my parents, tell them what happened, and my dad says, have you gone to the police? I said, nah. My mum says, is that the man that called me? It's like, yeah, he called you last night, Mum. So my parents, my mum, my dad says, look, we've got to go to the police. So I said to him, Dad, we can't go to the police, coming straight for us. He said, let's pray. He says, God, thank you that my son's alive, but Lord, let this guy get caught by the police before he finds us. So this is 48 hours later, I go to the police station. Keep getting prolonged. All the stuff prolongs me. I go to the skate park, my mates. I got taken by my mates because the fingerprints in the car. Eventually, like a whole day later, I get to the police. I was kind of frustrated. I'm a guy on time, and I got frustrated. Finally get to the police station. And I walk in, and there the guy is sitting inside the waiting room, looking the other way, and there he is. He rolled his ankle, tried to get himself to the police station, to the hospital, and then he's like, I can't get it, it's too sore, so he walked into the police station. 2 minutes later, I walked in and see him. So how I got prolonged, God totally answered that prayer. The guy got caught, got sentenced, big long story, but from that, like, obviously I wasn't okay straight away. Like, I freaked out. People asked me, are you still living in the same house? after he got let out. And my parents said to me, they came, we all sat down as a family, like 3 brothers, and they said, look, should we move? What should we do? And I said, look, well, my dad said to me, what's worst case scenario? I said, he comes and finds us, murders us all. That's worst case scenario. And then my dad says, what next? What after that? I says, well, I put my hand up and said, I'm gonna be with Jesus. And then the rest of my brothers said the same thing. He said, so why are we scared? Death, where is your sting? We can't live under this guy's fear of what he may do to us. So my parents still live in the same house. We're not riddled by fear. It took me a while, obviously. I told my story, was a huge healing process for me. But through that, people would pray, people would help. But I have no remorse against this guy because I know what Jesus 1 did for me. He forgave me. And so I was able to forgive this guy. I was still scared to drive in the car a little bit by myself at night, but I'm totally fine now. So it took time to heal that wound. But me being able to forgive him was the biggest release of it all. Because it was like, if I was angry and bitter at this guy, that's just gonna destroy my life. So anyone like watching this, it's like, look, forgive is gonna help you through so much. Like, could have totally been killed, you know? He still may come and find me and my family. But I know that God will use everything for good. He'll make something amazing out of it. And every time I tell the story, shared it multiple times, you know, like I think of that guy. I think, man, like, where is that guy? You know, he's a lot older than me. You know, I pray that, you know, right now that this guy, if he's still around, if he's still alive, that this guy comes to know Jesus. And that hopefully I would love to meet him one day. Seriously would love to. You know, I got to write him a letter in jail to talk about God's forgiveness. Not that he needed mine. I told him I forgave him, but that didn't matter. But I told him that, you know, we're all the same. I'm no better than this guy. He's been brought up in a crazy family. I've been brought up in an amazing family. If I was in the position that he's brought up, I'd probably be doing the same stuff. We're just a product of our environment. And so I was like, look, I forgive you, but it doesn't matter about I can hate you my whole life. But this guy needs God's forgiveness just as much as I do.